Andrew Tate. Everyone knows who Andrew Tate is. He's not a new concept. Everyone's heard of him before. Everyone's seen his outlandish clips before on their TikTok or their YouTube shorts or their Instagram reels, wherever he is. It seems like he's everywhere. At every corner of the Matrix, as he would say. When I was at home scrolling through YouTube shorts because I had nothing better to do with COVID, and I saw this bald guy screaming nonsense about how the Matrix was broken and if you get married as a woman, you are now property. Which, both those things are things he's actually said before. It got me curious on who this guy really was. So I started doing my own independent research, and by independent research I mean I looked up a bunch of videos on him, and now here they are in front of me, and we're gonna look at them.
I actually watched a really interesting documentary about a girl in the 1970s who was in a plane crash in Brazil, I think it was, somewhere in South America. And the plane crashed and everyone died except for her. She woke up, still in the seat, next to her decapitated mother and dead bodies all around her. She got up, she foraged for food, she had some cuts and bruises, one of them got an infection. She laid down ready to die and got found by some local people which nursed her back to health. She ended up going back to Germany. She was a German girl. And they said, well, what happened afterwards? She goes, well, I went to Germany and my dad obviously thought I was dead, but I wasn't. So he told me to get a job and I got a job and that's it. Carried on with life. And literally they asked her, didn't you go to therapy? She saw her decapitated mother next to her after a fucking plane crash. And her reply was, no, in those days we didn't do therapy. She just carried on with life. Now you're telling me that she can carry on with life and get on with things after seeing her decapitated mother, after fucking nearly dying from some jungle fever bullshit. But you need therapy because people say mean words to you on the fucking internet? You're a pussy.
Now this Tate guy, he's a very interesting character, as you can tell, if you haven't already figured that out from your own, what you've seen of him. I know you've seen him before. I know it's a character. He's playing it up to get the views and the clout all rolling in, because the things with the internet, you get enough clout rolling in, they will do anything you say. You are like God to people. And he starts saying things and he's like, I'm the top G, I'm fucking big guy, big alpha sigma male. And they're like, okay, I need to do what he does to be like him. And then buy into his $50 a month program, which has apparently been closed down. I saw a YouTube short once that he was like, I had this 3-stage plan. I'll try and find it. Hold on.
Are you trying to keep up being like as viral as you are forever?
This is stage 1 of a 3-step plan. So I'm going to be viral for a little bit longer, then step 2 begins. The conquest is continuing.
That wasn't the clip I saw, but that's basically it. And I'm pretty sure I saw a bunch of YouTube posts that Hustlers University closed down. And if it did, then stage 2 is here. I'm Andrew Tate, world champion kickboxer and multimillionaire. I grew up broke and now I'm a multimillionaire. I mean, he said it twice. I teach the deserving the secrets to modern wealth creation. I will teach you. War Room. I feel like I've heard of that before. So this is the promotional material for Hustlers University.
After I joined the War Room, that was the year I made $100,000.
1 year ago, I did not even have a business. I didn't make money. Now I make 5 figures every month.
If I didn't join the War Room, I would be nowhere near where I am today.
A lot of people had a bad time in college. I was not one of them. And I credit a lot of that.
I have seen this before. I saw this like almost like a year, yeah. In this video. This Tate Gonzalez video.
A little shocked. These insanely misogynistic
Is Andrew Tate over there?
podcasts where the hosts
Misogynistic podcast? That's not anything like Andrew Tate to you?
the ruse of giving dating advice for men will basically just insult
This
women
is
for an
Andrew.
hour.
This has been in the works for years.
Guys, here at the Fit Wolf podcast, we know that the dating game is tough these days, you know? Men don't know what women want and are finding it harder and harder to find a good girl to settle down with. So tip number 1 to finding a good girl is invent a time machine. Invent a time machine and go back to the 1750s, because that's the only way you're gonna find a decent woman.
That's literally what Andrew Tate sounds like. His what he says and like does in that way, it seems it's a lot more like yeah, I guess like primitive. It's old. I guess technically like regressive is a word you can use because we've moved we've evolved past that. How long has Andrew Tate been just lurking under the radar? Because now I'm like,
Further, I saw this video on Reddit the other day that's a trailer for something called The War Room. And instead of being a
what the fuck?
podcast for these like alpha male, misogynist, entrepreneur type guys, this is a club for those same types of guys.
Okay, wait. That's Andrew Tate. He's been here from the start. We just haven't realized it. Holy shit.
Now I make 5 figures every month.
I didn't have a business. I didn't make money. I didn't even want to start a business before I was forced to join the War Room at gunpoint a year ago. But now, I have a business where I'm selling fitness products to all of my friends. And if I get them to sign up too, and their friends to sign up too, and their friends to sign up too, I could be making minimum wage. But if you want...
That's the whole thing that Hustles University was. Because, what's his name? I have already subscribed to CoffeeZilla after this, because I already watched this video a little bit. And it was really, really interesting. But like
from Hustler University, also known as
it. CoffeeZilla joined Hustles University, and it was like what? He got access to a fucking Discord server that told him the way this works. You give it to other. It's like literally a pyramid scheme. I think they get paid, maybe for like every other person they get to join Hustles University, but then at the end of the day, Andrew Tate is still getting almost all the money at the end of the day anyway, so what does it matter? But that's interesting. He's been literally right fucking in front of our faces this entire time. He started the War Room, which evolved or stemmed into Hustles University, which was only possible like he has to have been like sat at his computer in Romania studying what gets people's attention and what's the most like he had to have been studying cancel culture and Twitter.com for like months just to know exactly what he could say that would tick a lot of people off and get some other like a smaller group of people to follow him, and that follow group would slowly grow and grow. What I was gonna say with this therapy clip, all of his like ideals and things he says seems to be based off of like old things that in general as a society we've moved mostly past.
Steve, I strongly suggest you do the same. Get all your friends around, call every friend you have right now, all of them. Invite them over for a party. When they all turn up, pour out sparkling water. Pour it all out. Say, everyone, let's have a glass of water together. Water can't hurt anybody. We're all probably dehydrated anyway. What's the word?
If you get a bunch of people together for a party and say, let's all have some water. Water can't hurt anybody. I guarantee you, no one is gonna fucking drink that water.
Worst water can do. Everyone, let's have a nice glass of water, and everyone's gonna drink it. And when you see that one dude, oh, there's bubbles. Never speak to him again. For your
a girl had been at a party at my house, and her boyfriend saw her Instagram stories, said, "Oh my God, you're at the Tate brothers' house in Romania." No, I didn't want to come to this party. They made me come here and I'm not allowed to leave. She said that to her boyfriend. He calls the police and says my girlfriend's being held against her will by the Tate brothers. And the next day, the police come to our house. They search our house. So we're sitting there at the police station. The prosecutor says, "Yes, we searched her house." I'm like, "All right, good. What'd you find?" "Well, nothing." "Oh, we checked the CCTV." I said, "Oh, what did you find?" "The girl who made the complaints was outside the gates taking pizza delivery and coming back inside."
So that is apparently the explanation behind the human trafficking story. Bombastic comments regarding women. This is one of his quotes. "If a woman is going out with a man and she wants to do OnlyFans, then she owes him some of that money because she is his. She belongs to him, and the intimate parts of her body belong to him. If she wants to sell those, and then he has a stake in those parts of her body. A Romanian news source claims investigators found webcam rooms on the property and discovered 4 women in total, 2 with the tattoo Tate property on their body. Bro. So here's the thing. It's the internet. So this woman who was in the property 500 meters away from their villa, just saying this, doubt it. I think the women that had the Tate's property thing probably were down for it, seeing as only 2 of them had them. Meaning the other 2 probably like, nah, I'm good. And then like, alright, fine, you got that. The thing is, they say some things that are like, they do this thing, which this was in CoffeeZilla's video. They say a lot of outlandish things, and then some not outlandish things. People be like, oh yeah, they're not all wrong. Like, obviously, like, you said some things that are correct. That's just like, in general, correct things. I don't have any of those clips here because I only grabbed the ones that stood out. They do this thing a lot where they talk about, like, this sadness of the, quote, the male reality. I'm like, yeah, it's true. Men are sad sometimes. Like, that happens. Lots of men deal with lots of different things at lots of different times. It's just how life works. Some of them deal with it. Some of them can't deal with it. Some, like, it's just, what, like, they're just humans. Like, that's the whole thing.
Do you need a vape for this one, brother? Tate. Andrew, do you need a vape for this one?
Yeah, I do a vape, yeah.
A vape, yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So,
It would have been funny if that vape just fucking exploded.
I've actually sat across from therapists 3 distinct times. So I'm sitting in front of this psychologist. He asked me, oh, why'd you become a kickboxer? Thinks he's fucking smart. Why'd you become a kickboxer? I said, why'd you become a therapist? He goes, well, I really found it interesting. I said, yeah, but it's not science, is it? He goes, well, why do you say that? I said, well, 1 + 1 is always 2. But with an alcoholic, you can have a person whose father was an alcoholic, so they're an alcoholic. You can have a person whose father was an alcoholic, so they don't drink alcohol at all. People can be in the same situation, have very different outcomes depending who they are as an individual. So it's not science, because it's not exact. The whole point of a science is that you can predict the future. 1 + 1 is 2, which means if I take 1 and 1 and put them together again, it will be 2 again in the future. This is how we can put rockets into space. You can't predict the future with psychology. You can't sit there and psychoanalyze someone and tell me what I'm going to do. You can't stop me throwing this cup of coffee in your face. You can't stop me doing shit. You don't know anything. So he sits there with his pen, doesn't know what to say because I'm correct, and just starts writing things down. And eventually I got tired of him writing things down, so I stood up. And as I stood up, he shat himself and dropped his pen. I just looked at him and I said, you dropped your pen. And I walked out of the room.
So that's the thing with Andrew Tate. He seems to take everything. He seems to act like defensively with everything. Like that story. He acts so defensively for literally no reason. Like there's no reason for him to act like that. Like he literally could have just been asking. Literally could have just been asking to ask. And psychoanalyzing people, it's not the most accurate, but it's mostly accurate. Like it's mostly accurate. Yeah, I think I've had enough Andrew Tate for the day. I've been watching Andrew Tate for a fucking hour. It is so interesting to me. I'm gonna fucking DM Andrew Tate this fucking video, bro. Actually, I think that'd be really fucking funny. I'm really interested to see what he has next. I'm really interested to see what he has next in store for his 3-phase plan or whatever the fuck. Because it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. the perfect example of what the internet loves. The internet loves entertainment, and I can't blame them, because he is very entertaining and funny. He says outlandish things, but that's the whole bit. Like, I'm sure it's all gonna get explained eventually, like soon. I'm hoping soon, because like it's probably not gonna be soon. He's gonna ride its wave as long as possible, and so am I with his name in the titles, because that apparently gets views. So I'm gonna try that, and if that works, hey yo, that works. Anyway, so that's the end of this. What an interesting character. I wish I could interview that man, bro.